What's up, guys? Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of week 1 of our online distance learning. Hope you guys are adjusting well to the schedule. And again, if you have any questions about any of these topics, or if you're finding some roadblocks you didn't anticipate, utilize my office hours, which have been posted in Google Classroom. Please get a hold of me that way. I am live and direct for that half an hour for you via those Zoom meeting rooms where we can talk face to face, and we can, troubleshoot that way. If it is outside of that window and you can't get a hold of me during that face to face time, that's fine. Shoot me an email. I will try my best to get back to you within 24 hours. Typically, that's going to be on the lower end of that. I don't anticipate it taking me that long to answer some of your questions, and I will do my best to break everything down here for you in terms of what the assignment looks like and what is going to be required on your end. So what you're seeing right now is the assignment that's going to be posted to Google Classroom. I don't have the YouTube video posted yet because it's what we're recording, so that'll look a little bit different when it comes time for you to open this. But let's go ahead and get started with what I'm going to have you guys doing today over the next couple of days. Now, it's not going to take a couple of days, right? But you do have those couple of days to do it, but make sure you are using your time wisely. So here we go. We're taking our funnel introductions that we were working on in January into February, and we're going to be making those look more like a paper. Some of you have already turned in those paragraphs, but I want to take a couple extra steps in order to make sure that it's organized and that we are all looking at the same document instead of you working on one thing and then I'm seeing another. So let's get started. Looking at my screen now, I am going to, if you can follow my mouse, we are going to start right here at number 1. Locate your educational incentive introduction. It should be in your Google Drive around, again, that mid to late January timeframe. And just open it up. All right, that's step 1. And after you get that done, we're going to move on to step 2. You're going to rename it the Educational Incentive Capstone with your name on it. So if you want to, you can just highlight that. I am going to copy. And I've taken 3 examples from people who have already turned it in previously that I had in my inbox. Their names have been redacted, so if you recognize it, well, guess what? You're getting a little bit of one-on-one tutoring right now for it. But I copied that educational incentive capstone, all right? And all I'm going to do is put it in the top left corner there and paste. All right, instead of your name, please actually put your name. Thank you. All right, I think, sometimes I think that things are pretty self-explanatory, but you never know in these days. So I'm going to put Mr. Snyder, all right, as the example. Capitalize your name. You're a proper noun and treat yourself that way, please. All right, so educational capstone, Mr. Snyder. Let's go back to the 3rd step. All right, you're going to edit your introduction from the funnel format to an actual paragraph. If you don't remember the funnel format, I have it posted right down here. All right, funnel introductions. And hopefully this rings a bell. This is something that we've gone over several times in class. It's taking that general statement and funneling it down into the more specific argument that you are going to be using during your paper. And if you need a little bit of a review, I've got this all here for you. Again, it's posted with the examples on the 2nd page, for your reference. So let's head back to here. Our 3rd step. So edit the introduction from funnel format to an actual paragraph. Some of you have already done this. Some of you have already taken out the cues for you here, like the general statement, the more specific limiting statement, Okay. And this should actually be limiting statement if I'm not mistaken. It should be, let's see here, more specific limiting statement, more specific linking to subject is the second one. Okay, so this right here should be more specific linking to subject. I'm not going to write that now because what we're doing is we're just going to edit this down. So when I say to make it look like a paper, well, here's what you have to do. For this particular one, the general statement looks like it is unfinished. So what I recommend is you finish it. So new additions to schools can blah, bitty, blah, blah. All right. And looks like my computer's about to die. Outstanding timing. Nice. All right. Let's just pause this real quick for the weird cut there. But the weird jump. I'm all plugged in, got the juice, ready to go. New additions to school can blah, bitty blah blah, be, bid, bada. All right. So you're going to finish your general statement. I'm not going to type something for this student and do the work for them. We're just going to delete each one of these sort of, I guess, reminders of what each statement needs to be, with your thesis being the last one here. Okay. All right. Please excuse the cell phone in the background. That was my wife's work phone. All right, we're just going to make this look like a paragraph. This easy. It's this simple. How about that? All right. Always indent the first line of any paragraph. That's what signifies it is the start of a paragraph. So this is what it's going to start to look like right here. You just make your incentive intro, make your funnel introduction into your incentive intro. Now, in the meantime, for incentive intro, I mean, we're just going to call it the Educational Incentive Capstone. That is a very just kind of basic name for this paper right now. I do encourage you, when the time comes to complete this, to create a more unique title, something that you come up with yourself that connects to what it is that you're trying to argue. All right, now we have completed step 3. The funnel format is now an actual paragraph. Here's the ticket. Here's the big thing that I want you to be able to focus on after you get all of these other boxes checked off. And that's to highlight the 3 points that you have in your thesis statement with 3 different colors. I feel like this is going to help bring a lot of the weaknesses in our thesis statement to the table. And that's what we want to address today, are the weaknesses that are present in the thesis statement. Because if we don't have a strong thesis, you're not going to be able to build upon the points that you make in it. Any foundation that you build, if it's weak, it will not be able to hold up anything beyond, some weak, just flailing statements. So let's go ahead and highlight the points in this right here. So this student, their thesis statement, it looked like it was 2 parts. It started here. The educational institutions can create change in and improve their students' performance classrooms and school by offering educational incentives to their students for doing something different, for doing different tasks such as reading and practice work. It's wordy, it's long, condense that. It needs to be, if you're starting your thesis statement right here with educational institutions can create change in and improve their students' performance, classrooms, and school by offering educational incentives, I would then connect that, kind of cut out this fluff here and connect it to increase student performance, motivation, and behavior, because it looks like that's the points that you're going to be arguing. You're going to, first body paragraph is going to be talking about student performance, how educational incentives increase that, how it also improves or increases student motivation through those incentives, and how it helps to create desirable behaviors, or not create necessarily, but to encourage behaviors. So if we're doing 1, 2, and 3, the first point is going to be highlighted in red. The second is going to be highlighted in green. And the third is going to be highlighted in blue. And we're going to leave it like that for right now, because when we go to write our paragraphs, that blue looks terrible. I'm changing that blue. It's hurting my eyes. There we go. Nice pastel blue, just in time for Easter. We're going to leave them like this for the time being. And then when we start to work on our papers, we're going to know, hey, we're going to be working on our red section, our green section, our blue section. You know what section, what point you're going to be arguing. So I don't want to see you talking about student motivation or behavior in your red section. You're mostly talking about performance. You should only be talking about performance and using the information that you found to use your annotated bibliography in that paragraph. All right? So all the work that we've been doing up to this point is building on itself. So if you slacked a little bit during one of these other stages, you now have to retroactively go back and do the work that was already required of you. So if you procrastinated and you didn't get that stuff done, you got a little bit more work to do to get caught up on this. If not, and you stayed up on everything you're supposed to do, mazel tov, congratulations. You're where you're supposed to be right now. Number 4, highlight the 3 points in your thesis with the following colors. We already did that. Red, green, blue. Finally, you're going to share it with me. That's the last step. I'm not having you do any more required writing when it comes to this. If it's complete and it's good to go, then just do the steps that we just did. If you're missing the general statement or it's incomplete like this student had, you have to finish that. You can't have incomplete statements on this. This has to be the entire intro paragraph done, ready to go. All right? So don't skimp on this. You will not receive full credit for this assignment if you turn in a body paragraph that looks anything other than this. So I'm going to go up top. I'm going to click share. I'm going to share it with myself. Here we go. Add notes. You can send me a note. I don't care. Not required, you know. That's it. 2 more examples for you, and then we are going to call it. Let me see how. Weird cut. Just wanted to see how much time I have. Got about 3 minutes left. So here is this other students right here. You can see that they don't have the general statement and the limiting statement, those sort of things present, but they do have the thesis. So all this student would have to do is bring that to there, make this look like a paragraph. All right. And there we go. All right. And the other thing too, I forgot. I'm just going to copy and paste this here just so we're all on the same page. There you go. All right. Indent. And I already see some grammatical errors here, like capitalizing words that don't need capitalized. I don't know why that has this real funky space there. I want you to address that somehow. And then we look for the 3 points. So it looks like their thesis starts here. Educational incentive need to be placed in urban communities with a local failing high school to provoke the student to remake the school reputation and better themselves for the future. All right, I see 2 points that you're arguing here. Remake the school reputation, should be school's reputation. So we're going to highlight that red. And better themselves for the future, it's vague. It needs to be more specific. What do you mean by better themselves for the future? I don't really like that. What do we do? Green. All right. You need a 3rd point, and hopefully through the time that you've been working on your annotated bibliography, you can catch up on that. All right, then finally here, and then you're going to share it with me. All right. Finally here, this one. All right. Again, this is wordy, a little too wordy, needs to cut down on it a little bit. Incentives should be included in educational curriculum as they are considerably enlightening when it comes to encouraging children to abide by educational requirements. Okay, there's red. Showing to be able to increase not only the work ethic of young adolescents. Okay, increase work ethic. Again, this is a little bit wordy. We need to cut down on that fluff a little bit. Preparing them for the life of adults and true work environment. Okay. There's blue. There's the 3 points. All right. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me during my office hours that are going to be today. towards the end of the day. I believe it starts at like 10:30. So if you've taken a look at this and you've tried and you're still struggling, please reach out to me on that Zoom. If you get to this a little bit